Hello, fabulous Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of April 2016, General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month, we have got a new moon happening in the early part of the month. It's a powerful new moon, having all kinds of conversations. It's hand in hand with Uranus, speaking with Pluto, speaking with Saturn. And it does suggest a measure of change, beginnings that have the real chance to reap powerful fruit, not only now, but in the long-term future. And it also has an element to this new moon that speaks to learning from the past and deciding the good you're going to take and what it is that you no longer need. This particular new moon is speaking with Pluto. As I said, it is activating a larger conversation that was taking place from 2012 to 2015 between Uranus and Pluto. So the changes that we went through, the soul searching that each one of us in our own way went through, will now be highlighted so that we understand what it is that we appreciated, what we learned, how we're better. And the conversation that this particular new moon is happening with Saturn actually speaks to a supremely harmonious conversation between Uranus and Saturn that will start to peak at the very end of the year and will define a lot of 2017 for most people. All of this is happening, is being facilitated by friendships. Friends and groups that you belong to are set to go through a measure of honesty, yes, but also looking at, I gotta say, this to me says games people play. If there are any games that people are playing, especially friends right about now, you will see right through them. You will know, it will be clear to you what it is that is happening, what it is that is working for you, and what is not. So if there's any part of your life where you feel like someone you're aligned with, whether it's a group that you belong to for your work, for your industry, or it is a genuine friendship level group that you're a part of, could be a support group that you belong to as well. Wherever it is that you've kind of accepted a certain situation, even though you kind of knew better, even though you might have felt that this wasn't the healthiest situation, or you were seeing some behaviors that you didn't really like, this is where things are really going to come to the surface so that you can decide what needs to change and where it is that you are a big part of that equation. And this ultimately is going to empower you tremendously. It's going to allow you to understand where you're going and what direction will allow you to manifest the biggest, the best future for yourself. But also, there's an element to this that has to do with stability and growing up. So if you are in any dynamic, regardless of what age you are, right? Because, this age isn't nothing but a number. Age is a state of mind. This is really going to show you that. I think it is going to be sort of the people, it has nothing to do with their age, right? It has to do with, are their behaviors mature or not? Do their behaviors match who you have become or not? And is this an alliance that you see strengthening and growing and moving forward in the long-term picture of your life? Where it is that works, it will come together really beautifully. Where it is that isn't really working for you, where it is that it no longer makes sense, you will start to get honest with yourself about that. So it is your alliances right now, memberships that you belong to right now, that are going to speak most strongly as a reflection to the changes that you are going through. As you get more honest about why you have needed certain people and where it is that you are now as part of moving in new directions. If people can grow with you, move along with you, that's awesome. If not, you are going to be paying attention to that. You are going to know that. And that realization can't help but change so many things in your life. But understand that the changes you experience now are setting the stage for some really big accomplishments that are going to come up at the very end of this year and into the next. It might seem like this situation is so personal and it's not necessarily related, but actually what you're doing is you're clearing house. You're clearing your side of the street. You're deciding who stays and who goes. You're deciding what it is that's best for you. And from that place and getting in touch with that knowing within you, you can't help but make healthier and better decisions. Late this month, we do have a full moon that is taking place. This full moon is happening in a part of the sky for you that is in the part of the sky that has to do with work, the work environment, the work that you're actually doing, if you're self-employed, the clients that you have in your life. And there's also an element to this full moon that speaks to what you hope for, what you wish for, the promises that might be there in the ether. This particular full moon doesn't have a lot of groundedness to it. So it has a lot of hope, it has a lot of faith, but manifestation, action, energy is going to take a little while to manifest. We are going to have to wait until the very end of next month and into the month of June to actually see any kind of movement happen in this area of life. So if you should hear of someone leaving, right? If there's anything like you're expecting a coworker might be leaving, particularly a female coworker, maybe someone's contract is ending, chances are this, regardless how you feel about this person, chances are this isn't like the final word. Chances are that there's going to be, that this person is not going to completely leave just yet. Either, you know, the contract gets extended for a little while longer, or you still have to deal with this person in some way. So regardless of that, just know that if any big announcements are made right about now, whether it involves people or otherwise, assignments, projects in particular, changes in the workspace, any kind of announcements that are made, just take them with a bit of a grain of salt, because it does suggest, the sky does suggest that some of the more meaningful changes have yet to be enacted. And this could be a time also when there's the hope, there's the promise of attracting some really big clients where it fits, right? Where the case may be. Some really great clients, really clients with a lot of power, clients who are, you know, widely respected, maybe even famous clients as well. Now, how that fully manifests, it might not be as immediate as you might necessarily hope. It might not, you know, manifest immediately in these bigger and bolder ways. You'll have to give it a little bit of time to see where it is that these connections might take you. But regardless, this is a time when you're considering how it is that you're working, how it is that your day in and day outs are supporting good work habits, good health habits, effectiveness as well. All of this is highlighted with this particular full moon, and you're getting an understanding of what needs to stay, what needs to go, if you are going to live something that feels a little bit more inspired and a little bit more on a pathway of purpose as well. What I love about this month for you is that there is the promise now of meaningful changes taking place in terms of your relationships and the people around you, but also the promise of what is ahead. And I think you will find the future that you glimpse not only to be promising, but also positively inspiring as well.